You feel better already?
I haven't gotten to it yet. Hold on a second. All right, and then
so your hands are spread apart further than your body?
Well, when you actually start inching towards the wall, key note is like what she's doing. You want to keep the actual back and glutes straight. So you want
to keep glutes.
Thank you.
What are those?
So she's actually well, you can see she's flexible. So
you just said my butt was nice, Bets. Oh, that's what glutes
you're
are.
Awesome. You fitness queen, you.
You didn't know what it was? You're like, nice glutes. What are they?
He said you're doing something with your glutes.
There you go. So, okay, so that was a good stretch also. Now, if I'm a beginner and I want to start weight, first of all, why should I do it? If I'm a beginner, because I hear that my mother drives me crazy. I'm not going to weight train because I don't want to get big. So what's the point of weight training, and why today, or can you convince somebody today to start doing it if they only do cardio?
Oh, definitely. Cardio is not going to prevent osteoporosis.
So that's the big thing, osteoporosis. Yes. Okay.
Everyone knows that today with the recent research and scientific proof that you will have osteoporosis if you don't have any type of weight-bearing exercise. Now, that could be achieved through your own body weight. The body weight's a lot of weight we're working with. So we can simply squat.
Why are you looking at me again? Every hour. First hour, you thought I was an alcoholic. Couldn't give up the wine for Lent, which I don't have to do anyway.
That's right, you're Jewish.
Second hour, my body weight's
she's a teeny
my own
little,
weight-bearing exercise.
But it is true. But so if I'm doing the weight training, and I only have a limited amount of time, or obviously I don't have weights with me or whatever, should I work on the big muscle groups or the small muscle groups?
No, definitely you want to work the larger ones. We're not going
to be what?
The larger one would be the chest, shoulders, back, biceps, triceps, abdominals.
I thought you were going to say
quadriceps.
Legs. Oh, quadriceps. Okay, there you go. Okay.
They're large movements.
Okay.
Quadriceps we're moving a lot in when you do a cardio. And then we would need a little bit more resistance for the strength training. A simple squat on a chair. A simple squat, sitting on the chair and getting up. Sitting on the chair, getting up. What I've noticed is for all beginners, they work too hard. They said, well, my knees are not supposed to go over my toes. My back is arched. They start, as they're lowering their body into the seated position, they start bending from the knees first, when you should bend from the hips first. So I tell everyone, relax, just be natural. Don't work too hard, just sit down, relax. We do this movement every day, so sit down and then come up slowly.
So you're doing it with both and this is harder than you think. If you're sitting in a chair and you have your feet out in front of you, like you do when you get up, it's not one leg at a time. Try to get yourself up from the chair.
Correct.
With both feet on the floor. It's the funniest thing ever because you're like, this is so easy. Oh, it's not so easy. It's hard. And then how many times do you do that?
Well, typically a beginner should do 12 reps. I recommend anywhere from 12 to 16 reps. And if you need partial assistance, that is using your hands to support yourself off your legs, do so. The important thing is to actually have the right form. And many times we can do that with some assistance from our arms. It's better to have some assistance with the arms and do it correctly than to be off on alignment.
Well, let's just say we start to get into better shape. Then we should not use our arms?
Yes. Then you want to typically work with just your body weight with no assistance.
Huh. Can you do that, Beth?
Probably not.
So here's the thing. If you're a truck driver or you're in your car, you could actually, well, you know how they have the steps for the truck? You could actually sit on one of the steps and do it.
Oh,
right
absolutely.
Outside your... Yeah.
So then you typically want to lead up with your chin and chest. So you don't want, that would give you a nice tip that if your chin is falling forward and chest is falling forward, you're probably in a big arched position.
Oh, okay. So you have to have chin and chest up.
Yes.
And that's what you lead with. All right, give us a couple more, one or two more abdominal exercises.
Abdominal exercise.
I like these in the office ones, wherever you might be.
Sure.
Well, I say everyone should start off with a crunch, a basic crunch where you're lying flat on your back, knees bent, and you're actually coming up for 2 to 3 inches on a straight line. So
wait, knees are bent, but your feet are on the floor?
Yes,
okay.
flat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Typically, the closer the heels are to the buttocks, the harder it is. It's all about physics. So if you find a moderate position, the heels are not entirely to the buttocks, and then evenly spaced about a foot, that would be mid-range. So this would be great where you can do a crunch coming up for 2 to 3 inches. 2 to 3 inches. Mm-hmm. What we want to keep in mind is that we have abdominals on the side, which is the internal external oblique. So therefore, we can actually do a crunch on an angle. So we would actually come up, and the beginners can put their hands by their ears. They can put their hands on their chest. Typically, we don't really need to put our hands anywhere. We just need to come up on.
It's like ski poles. You don't actually need them.
Right.
No.
They look cool.
No, they look cool. I've worked with people that actually pulled so much on the neck that they didn't realize they actually damaged the nerve, and 20 years later, the nerve is shortened.
Ooh, so you don't want to intertwine your fingers. You just want to.
The advanced people can do that,
because they know not to use their neck.
Because they know actually how to contract your abdominals, and they rarely use their neck or head for momentum or cheating.
Well, when do I do the twisty thing? So
you're coming up. It's a twist crunch. So you're actually coming up only a few inches, and you're angling your elbow to your knee.
Okay. Oh, so now your feet are then not flat on the floor. One knee comes up at a time, or
you're actually just going to come in that direction towards the knee.
But your knees, your feet are still flat on the floor.
Yes, that's for beginners, because you're still coming up and you're activating internal and external oblique. You don't need a full contraction all the way up. The pros do. They like to actually intensify the contraction, so they can come all the way up. They can start arching the knees in. But typically, if you're lifting your shoulder blades off of the floor and you're coming up on an angle towards the opposite knee, you're getting your internal, external obliques. These are for beginners.
So we're going to do all the complaint areas, the girly complaint areas.
Sure.
The next one is the back of my arms. I wave, and the back of my arms wave separately. So what do I do there?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. They call them lunch lady arms.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's also the stuff that, and I don't want to offend you, but it's also the stuff that sticks out of your bra. You know what I'm talking about, like back here? So we got the back of the arms and then your back. Mm-hmm. So I need one exercise for each one of those.
Sure. Well, one for a beginner would be an actual kickback. You're holding onto something.
A kickback, that's...
A kickback. You'll hold no weight first, just to learn the form. And your wrist, your elbow will be bent up. And just the forearm actually moves. So you want to actually just straighten out the arm. So you just the forearm.
So wait a second.
Am I bent over or standing up straight?
Well, I typically say for everyone, when you're bent over, you're actually making the gravitational pull harder. So you want to have some, if you're doing with no weight, you definitely want to bend over and hold on to something. I typically always tell someone...
I'm holding on to Beth's. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on to her shoulder. Yes. So then now typically only the forearm is moving. If the shoulder is moving, then you're using much too much momentum. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now that's for beginners. If someone is up to speed and a little bit more developed, and you really want to tighten the arms, you can actually use the counter of your kitchen, the bathtub, and then you actually would have your arms slightly back, and you'll hold on with your palms holding on to the grip, and you're going to use both. But beginners should always have their feet on the floor and their knees bent, so they're doing less resistance.
Okay.
If you locked your legs, then resistance increases.
All right. Now, one last thing is the wings in the back there. I would like everything to actually fit into my clothes. So upper back, the area that sometimes...
You guys don't have to worry about it quite so much.
Yeah, well, you don't have to wear an undergarment like we do on top, but if you do, sometimes we have spillover.
I definitely recommend rows. Dumbbell rows for the back. Definitely recommend that you hold on to a chair and you get a nice stretch in there, and you bring it all the way up, and you bring it all the way down, and you do alternate.
So wait, I'm sitting on the floor?
No.
Or standing?
Standing.
Okay.
Leaning over.
Okay.
So if you want to get this side of the...
your back.
The back,
right?
The latissimus. You want to do...
Thank you.
You want to do a row. A row would be most effective there. I mean, a pull-up would really work, but most people can't do a pull-up.
I can't even do one. I can't even do one.
Exactly. So, and we want to modify it and go a little bit lighter, so we use a dumbbell row.
I got
Let's see if she can get her to volunteer.
Come on, Beth.
I don't have a dumbbell, but I do have
You have a dumbbell? I'm right here.
Actually, would be a great example. Let's do it without the weight, because all beginners should actually practice without weight.
I don't want to break anything in the studio or dump my coffee. I've already done that this week.
Okay.
So I have to bend over?
Yes. Bend over. Slight.
Nice.
Slight
that
arch.
is so excellent.
And now,
Where's the camera?
The arm is lengthened, and now bring the wrist towards up the chest.
Well, there you go. That's
Good.
it.
Now let's learn how to breathe. Let's exhale on the end of the contraction. So inhale first, and then exhale on the way out. You're getting it.
All right, that doesn't feel like anything now. That's too easy.
Well, that's because you have no weight there. Try that with a little bit of weight.
Then it'll be
16 to 20 times, and boy, you'll feel it.
Well, it's the only part of me that's fit anyway, that arm.
You know what you could do, though? You could use soup cans, believe it or not, at home.
No, I have weights. I'm going to borrow them
Correct.
back from the hamster. Just going to find something to nail down the top.
Typically, I say if you have a mirror, do it in front of a miror. Most people think
she doesn't have a mirror.
I do. I only see my face.
She has a medicine cabinet mirror. It's crazy. Hey, John Sitaras, is there a website where people can find out more about you?
Crazy.
Sure. It's Sitaras, SITARASINC.com.
And what's the next thing for you? What are you going to be doing? Are you doing like a fitness